Welcome back to GMA3. As tax day approaches, there's a new tax bill working its way through Congress that should pique parents' interest. It passed the House with bipartisan support. It's now in the Senate, and the new bill aims to enhance the child tax credit. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, it could lift as many as 400,000 children above the poverty line in its first year.
And joining us now is an advocate for the child tax credit expansion, New York Congressman Ritchie Torres. Good to have you back, and thanks for being with us.
It's always an honor to be here.
Before we talk about that subject, let's talk about a shooting that happened in the Bronx, your district, yesterday at a subway station. There was, 5 people injured, 1 person killed. The ages range from 14 to 71, and the shooter is still at large. What's the latest?
So as you know, there was a mass shooting in the Bronx. It was not random. It began as a physical altercation and then escalated into violence. Shots were fired in the subway, creating pandemonium on the platform, leaving 5 people injured and 1 person dead. My understanding is that the shooter's at large, but this is a tragic reminder that we have far too many guns in America, and those guns are accessible to dangerous people. You know, we have a broken political system that enables these instruments of mass murder to flow freely in the hands of dangerous people, particularly gangs.
Let's switch gears and talk about this child tax credit, which we were talking about earlier. How much of a difference do you think this can actually make for American families?
Well, the child tax credit is designed to benefit families with children, but historically the structure of the child tax credit left behind 19 million children languishing in poverty, and no district was more left behind than the Bronx, which I represent. And so the latest tax bill expands the child tax credit to cover 80% of the 19 million. It will benefit 16 million children living in poverty. So half of those families will receive an extra $630 or more. 40% will receive an extra $1,000 or more, and 25% will receive $1,300 or more. So at a time of inflation, when people are struggling to put food on the table and pay the bills, I consider it a game changer.
And now to a developing story. The Senate passed a funding bill for Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan this morning here. Do you think it's going to get the votes in the House, and what happens if it doesn't?
Look, I'm pessimistic because we've seen nothing but dysfunction, incompetence, and extremism from House Republicans under Speaker Johnson. You know, Senate Democrats negotiated a compromise on border security, and Speaker Johnson rejected it. Senate Democrats just passed a bill providing aid to our allies, Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel, and Speaker Johnson so far has rejected it. So instead of being part of the solution, House Republicans insist on being part of the problem.
Let's talk about the special election that's happening on Long Island to fill George Santos's seat. How important is that seat for Democrats?
Well, Democrats are only a few seats away from winning the House and making Hakeem Jeffries the first African-American speaker in American history. So the stakes are extraordinarily high. And you might recall in the 2022 election cycle, one of the cruel ironies is that there was a red wave almost nowhere except New York, where we lost 5 seats. And ground zero for the red wave in New York was Long Island. So if we win New York 3, it will show that we can win anywhere and that we're well positioned to take back the House.
The House is holding a second impeachment vote for Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas tonight. How do you expect that vote to go?
There's no telling how the vote will unfold, and I suspect Speaker Johnson does not know because he has a history of bringing bills to the floor that often fail. But it's an abuse of power. You know, just like it is wrong to prosecute your political opponents, it's wrong to impeach your political opponents. The Constitution empowers Congress to impeach officials for treason, bribery, and high crimes and misdemeanor. Secretary Mayorkas has not committed treason. He's not committed bribery. He's not committed any crime. This is an example of Republicans weaponizing government to target their political opponents based on policy disagreements.
The House has just been chaotic recently. Is there anything that can be done so that work can be finished and bills can pass through there? Important things.
Look, we have a dysfunctional House where the inmates are running the asylum, but every so often we do have bipartisanship. I mean, the tax bill was passed overwhelmingly on a bipartisan basis, and so we're waiting for the Senate to pass a bill that already passed in the House. But generally, we've seen nothing but dysfunction and chaos from House Republicans.
Do you think there's any hope that there'll be more working together going forward, or?
I have no choice but to be optimistic, but I would argue that we need new leadership in the House.
All right. New York Congressman Ritchie Torres, thank you so much for being here with us.
Of course.